Welcome to Twilight Racing on this Friday card at Belmont Park. In the 7th, it's a return to the turf for Battle Station after winning 2 stakes on dirt. He's back to where he won his debut on the lawn. In today's 8th race, the Grade 3 Lexington proved to be too much for Honor Up. Will Hall of Fame trainer Belmont have him ready to fire in his 3rd start off a layoff? All that and more coming up on this Friday Twilight edition of Belmont Park Live. It's presented by Claiborne Farm. 100 years of doing the usual unusually well. Great to have you with us because of the late start time today. You're going to join us just in start for the Nyra Bets Late Pick 5, which we will go through here in a moment. Greg Wolf alongside former New York Met, LA Dodger, Paul LaDuca, New York Racing Association handicapper, Andy Searling. We missed you yesterday. Good to have you back. This 8th race, Honor Up, we talked about in the open there. Intriguing race, and we'll see if this horse can step up and improve here for Belmont in his 3rd start of his 3-year-old campaign.
Yeah, does he need to step up in here, Andy? Maybe he does. JJ's Dreaming will probably be your favorite 8 to 5, maybe. It's going to be very close, I think, between them two.
Yeah, I think Honor Up's going to be the favorite. He's kind of funny because he lost his maiden race actually to Audible.
Yeah.
3rd place finish in the Kentucky Derby, broke his maiden, had a layoff. They got ambitious, ran him at Keeneland. That Keeneland race bears watching because he was in contending position, and I don't know the reason, but Jose Ortiz eased him top of the
And I think a lot of people forget My Boy Jack, who won that race, got dead stopped in the Derby and might have had a better result.
As I said, you're joining us just in time for the start of this Nyra Bets Late Pick 5. Let's look at this sequence. It all begins in the 5th. 7 furlongs on the turf. This is not an easy race. This will kick off the sequence. Race number 6. Maidens, New York Breds going to mile 16th. Race number 7, sprinting over the inner turf. Honor Up in that 8th race along with JJ's Dreaming, and then we'll close things out in the 9th. That's a race you can watch on the Nyra Now app. We're on through the 8th. That will be a 20 maiden claiming event at 6 furlongs. Weather and track conditions brought to you by Piranha Fly Spray, the preferred fly spray of Belmont Park. Piranha on, pests gone. Main track fast. Turf course is firm for today's action. For 13 minutes to post here. The start of race 5, 7 furlongs on the turf, 50,000 starter allowance, and this is how wide open it is. 4-1 right now is the favorite.
Yeah, and if you obviously you're just joining us, there has been some prices already to start this card. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the number 1's name, but if that horse wins, there's a pick 5 carryover. That's how difficult it's been.
Frau Blucher? Young Frankenstein?
Oh, yes.
The greatest movie characters of all time.
Oh.
This one's not an easy name either, but that's Avery Maeve. Faced boys last time out. 7-2 favorite, and this is 2nd start back this year.
She's the horse to beat. I think 7 furlongs a bit of a question for her. Most of the time she's been running 6 furlong turf sprints, and she seems to get close. She doesn't always seal the deal, but prep race last time, Paul, just the horse to beat.
Yeah, the horse to beat in a difficult field as you can look at the board. I mean, the 3 is the lowest in the will pays of the pick 5s and pick 4s, but a tepid favorite in here. Horses are getting bet, and you know, she's the type of mare now at 5. She just runs the same race each time. Is that race going to be good enough, you know?
We'll find out. She went against Axtell, who's going to be running later in the 7th race on the card that we'll have for you. Right now, for more on this group, let's send it down for a paddock report to Maggie Wolfendale. It's brought to you by Hillendale Farm, now standing Curlin for $150,000.
Yes, Greg. She actually ran against the boys in regards to Avery Maeve last time out. It's a start coming back off of a layoff. You have to feel as though that her trainer, Dave Canizzo, was really just searching for a race to get into her, to get her fit. And it looks as though he's done just that. She does look very fit in here. She's in back against fillies and mares. The only complaint I have about her is that maybe she could have looked a little bit better in her coat, but then again, she's never quite looked that great in it. It's just kind of her. And I feel as though the 7 furlongs is an ideal type of distance for her as well. The 7 furlongs might be a bit of a problem, though, for a new face in here, but I always feel as though Danny Gargan's horses are potentially dangerous. And number 4, Catharsis, while she is facing older horses for the first time, she does possess a lot of speed. You have to be very quick to get to the lead going 5/8 at Gulfstream Park. And she looks it here. She is stout, compact, very healthy looking, but the 7/8 I think is going to be a big problem, big thorn in her side, considering there's a lot of other pace in here as well. A horse that I'm very, very interested in is number 6, Final Form. Her lone turf sprint, she encountered encountered a lot of trouble. Now, it was a very fast pace that she actually broke on top, checked back out of it, let the favorite go in front of her, and then in the lane at about the 8th pole, she got steadied and checked again, where she was actually willing and running on to go through that hole, but I don't think her jockey was as willing as she. I like what I see from her here in the paddock as she'll make her first start for Jeremiah Engelhardt. She's bigger, she's healthy looking overall. She's got a little bit of sharpness to her, but she's kind of chilled out since they've gotten the tack on her, which is good. And given her size and the fact that I do believe she can rate off of a pace, kind of in that second flight of horses, I don't think she'll have much of a problem with the 7 furlongs. And as she continues to try to produce a record, I should say, on the turf, as Jeremiah Engelhardt is also very adept of getting new acquisitions to run well on this surface. Greg?
Maggie, thanks. So some positives there with final form, and this one taking some money as well. 12-1 morning line, 7-1 right now.
It's kind of a hard read because while she did have some trouble in that race at Tampa, that was 5 furlongs. Then she runs a mile, arguably against some tougher horses, and she didn't handle the mile. So is she going to be okay at the 7 furlong distance, Paul, around 1 turn?
Yeah, it's very interesting. You know, she was able to pass horses, like Maggie said. You know, she sort of drift back and pass horses. She passed horses when she won first time out. They put her on the front end, and that's fast for actions at Gulfstream 110 and change, and she just backed out of it. I'm wondering if she wants to be a closing sprinter.
Well, I mean, she's got a lot of speed. The question is, there too much speed in the race?
That's true, too. I don't think she gets the lead in here with the 4 or the 2 in here. But I would think the 4, I don't know if she can get the distance, but she's going to be fast.
This race kicks off the Naira Bets late pick 5. The only way to play it if you do not reside in the state of New York is go to NairaBets.com. On Saturdays, of course, if you play it through Naira Bets and you're the only winning ticket, $100,000 minimum single ticket payout. How are you going to play this pick 5, Paul?
Well, like I said, I thought this race was difficult. I'm even leaving off the 7. La Natural, who probably, you know, has got a shot in here at 5-1. But I thought this race was tough. I thought the outside 2 horses got a look, 1, 3, 5, 6. Listen, I'm singling Battle Station. I know the horse looks on paper as the lone speed, and there's not much. She has to beat, or he has to beat Yummy Bear in there, I thought. And maybe Axtell could be a long shot. It's a very difficult sequence. Race number 8, 2-3. Fiery Opal, oh, God. I mean, these Parks horses, I'm giving them one more shot. If this horse doesn't run because of the number, I'm done with them. JJ's Dreaming I'm using. And then in the last race, 3, 5, and 7. I thought those were the 3 horses. You want to throw in Geordie's Ready for Phil Serpy, who I thought ran pretty well considering first time on dirt last time.
It's a difficult sequence. Good luck. Still time to try and put your ticket together as we're 8 minutes to post. This is Kitten's Cover Girl, the 5 in here. It's a horse who was just claimed off of Wesley Ward, now in the Patrick Reynolds barn, getting a little equipment adjustment. 13-1 right now. Just missed trying to go gate to wire for 40,000 non-winners of 2 last start.
1 or 2 horses in the race that were claimed off of Wesley Ward. The numbers off horses claimed from Wesley Ward in the turf, 5 for 65 with a 77-cent ROI for every $2 bet.
Tough.
Yeah, there's this one at 13-1, also the 7 La Natural claimed off of Wesley Ward last time out.
The thing about La Natural, Sooner, and there's nothing against the new trainer, but June 2nd, and, you know, we're in the middle of June, so maybe there's still that training and gate speed that the 7 has. That's why the 7's still getting played here.
Our post parade coming up momentarily here, and all sorted out here with Kitten's Cover Girl. Paco Lopez there will be aboard. The call to post from Sam the Bugler. And I'll go ahead and let you say the name of the one again.
Frau Blucher.
For Michelle Nevin, Manny Franco aboard. I need to see my movies.
Doesn't really have any turf pedigree. Love the name, don't like the horse.
2 is She Put a Spell on Me. It's 15-1 for Brian Lynch.
Yeah, this one gets Castellano in the irons. Jose Ortiz was aboard. And maybe a horse could be sneaky here at a price.
Mild favorite here. Avery Maeve, she faced the boys in her 5-year-old return to the races this year.
She's got overall probably the best resume of these horses and is the horse to beat.
Catharsis, Kendrick Carmouche on a speedster for Danny Gargan off the claim.
Well, finally got the job done, but she ran into the field she was supposed to, 4-5, and she got it done. Now Danny jumps in. She's got a lot of speed, and Danny does add more speed.
Here's the one Maggie liked in the paddock. Final form now with Jeremiah Engelhardt.
Like I said, good. Like Maggie said, good race sprinting. If she can run back to that, she's a player in here.
7-horse La Naturale just claimed off of Wesley Ward, as we mentioned. That was a 5 3/4 length gate-to-wire win.
She beat an uncompetitive field last time. A race 2 back was good enough, but once again, can she improve? Claimed off of Wesley Ward.
Anna Moselle, I think, is a big shot in this race. She's 11-1 right now for Mitchell Friedman off the claim.
Yeah, off the claim. In her last 2 races, she's exploded home. If this race falls apart, which it could, you look for her late.
JoJo's Candy. Did we see the 8? Went by. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We're looking at JoJo's Candy. First start, it came at Belmont here, and it was a win, but against a soft field.
It was a soft field, but she was impressive that day. Asked to get an extra furlong and deal with a lot of other speed.
10-horse is Awesome Quick, and this will be the 6-year-old debut.
Listen, I know this horse is a 5-time winner, but I just don't know how she gets the job done. She's passed horses before. Maybe she's going to have to do the same today.
Faced a lot better runners than a lot of these have. The 11 Factoring has won back-to-back starts, last time on turf.
Yeah, I liked her last time when she got an absolutely perfect trip against weaker.
And the 12 on the outside, 7-1 on Angel Food for Leah Giramatti. Only turf try. It was a win, 2 starts back.
Yeah, this horse I thought was a player. I'm surprised at 8-1. That turf race was not bad. The sloppy race, if you draw a line through, you don't really need to draw a line through. This horse has just gotten better in his barn.
And the 5 Kittens Cover Girl for Patrick Reynolds, again claimed off of Wesley Ward.
Tough to improve from Wesley Ward off the claim, but Pat Reynolds and owner Robert Amendola are a sharp outfit.
Well, still the favorite right now. It is the 3 Avery Mave. 2-time winner on the turf for David Canizzo. Joel Rosario will be back aboard. He was on board for that return to the races again back on May the 25th. This takes us back 2 starts where she just missed. She had the lead in the stretch and got caught late.
Lost to a very big priced horse in this race last time. And that's the thing. She sort of gets there and has some trouble sealing the deal. Hasn't won a race in going on over a year and a half. Her last race, though, was a prep off the layoff. She faced the boys. Her trainer, David Canizzo, isn't great off of layoffs. And she didn't run that badly, considering the race was 1 wire to wire. So she should be ready for today's effort and probably will run well.
Meanwhile, on the outside, Angel Food. She's only been on the turf 1 time, and it was a win. It was for 40,000, non-winners of 2 starts back in the Leah Giramatti barn.
It was a good effort, too, by the way. She broke a little flat-footed, Andy, and I like the foot she showed.
Yeah, I'm with you. I picked this horse, actually. I don't think there's anything wrong with her effort. I think it's good enough to compete here. I'll tell you the truth. You look at that field, I don't think she's facing really significantly tougher today. I think she makes a lot of sense in this race. And going 7 furlongs, the outside post isn't a real problem because they're going right down the straightaway.
Dylan Davis was aboard for that win. He is back on board this afternoon, 7-1 on Angel Food. For more on this field, let's check in again with Maggie.
And guys, just to kind of check in with what was going on with number 5, Kittens Cover Girl. She's wearing what we call a Sherwin. As I've described it before, it's that piece of rubber that's attached to the bit that comes together in about the middle of their nose and runs up to a long strip of rubber that's attached to the head stall of the bridle. And actually, she has a very small head, so that Sherwin wasn't really doing its job in keeping the bit up. So Pat Reynolds had to punch another hole in it and kind of make it a little bit tighter on her. I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not a big fan of horses claimed off Wesley Ward, and really in the warm-up I could have seen her just doing a bit better. And Pat Reynolds said, you got to tell Andy to stop picking my horses. I can't win a race. Just kidding, Andy, but Pat has a great sense of humor. As number 10 is Awesome Quick. The last time this filly won a race, she was coming off, granted it was nearly 2 months as far as the layoff is concerned, but she won coming back off of a layoff. Granted, class-wise, yes, this is probably a tougher bunch, but she has fast enough numbers coming back into this group to suggest that she could be competitive here at a big price. And guys, she looks really fit to me, Awesome Quick. She looks ready to go here for trainer Mike Maselli as Joe Bravo's in the irons. She's an interesting long shot here, Greg.
I agree, and actually look at that last start. That was a 6-time winner that she faced in that race. You go 4 starts back. That was a horse who was a 7-time winner on turf. Horse who finished second in there had won 11 times on grass. I think she's faced better than most in here have.
I can't disagree with any of that. She's a multiple winner herself. I think she makes a lot of sense. A layoff, but Paul, as you pointed out, she's got a good work. I mean, she's easily usable, especially at that price.
Yeah, they took the blinkers off last time. Did it not work? We don't know, because that was the first time her going a mile, so you can't really. I think he was trying to get her to relax, and she might have to relax and pass. Her best race is relaxing and passing, so there's speed enough in here for a run out. So 22-1, I'm not going to talk you off.
Meanwhile, a horse that has made big bids from off the pace each of the last 2 starts on turf sprinting, Anna Moselle, the 8 at 11-1 right now.
Listen, she's going to get pace to run into. And Junior Alvarado's given her sensational rides. He knows she has no speed. He sits back and last in the rail, and he's managed to angle out and get it done. But it's not an easy thing to do in big fields. And I also wonder if her kick gets a little bit muted going the extra furlong, Paul.
You make a good point there. And listen, she's 1 for 17, and you got a lot of those in here, 1 for 3, 1 for 5 that can improve. You know what you're getting with the 8 in here. I don't agree with the 11-1 to win, but I think you can use her underneath.
Meanwhile, we had some big numbers early on in the card, and as a result, if this one horse were to win, nobody hits the early pick 5.
There'll be a lot of neighing going on if this horse gets the job done. Well, Lonhro on the sire side gives some turf, not the dam side. Who knows?
Whoever's rooting, the root against, I call them the RAs. Whoever's rooting against, at least he's right. Lonhro on the top side, there is a little pedigree with the 1.
Meanwhile, the 4, the 5, the 7, to some degree, I guess the 9, I think the 9's too slow. Who do you think gets the lead?
That's a good question. I would think the 4.
I think Kendrick,
I think
right?
the 4 does, coming out of those 5 furlong turf races. I think the 4 does.
There's Kendrick Carmouche on the 4. We know how aggressive he is, and this is a speed horse. Yeah, coming out of a 5 furlong event at Gulfstream. We are set. This starts the Naira Bets late pick 5. Good luck to all. Let's send it upstairs to the voice of horse racing's Triple Crown for the call, Larry Colmus.
Factoring in final form take their position in the starting gate, and Angel Food will be the last one. Taking up stall 12 here. 5-2 currently on Avery Maeve. The favorite in the betting as Angel Food steps forward and goes in. They're all in line. They're off. And not a good start at all for Awesome Quick. A disastrous beginning as they head up the backstretch. It is final form in front from Catharsis. Le Naturel is away running in 3rd. And then JoJo's Candy on the outside. Kitten's Cover Girl, Avery Maeve down toward the inside, followed by Angel Food, who's 4 lengths from the front. Then She Put a Spell on Me, Frau Blucher to the inside, Factoring, and Animo Cell. And after a very poor beginning, Awesome Quick has been pulled up out of the race. 22.28 was the first quarter as they race for the turn. Catharsis on top by a length and 3/4. JoJo's Candy on the outside. Second, Avery Maeve is 3rd. And final form on the outside of Le Naturel. Down toward the inside comes Kitten's Cover Girl. And then it's Angel Food. She Put a Spell on Me. Frau Blucher to the inside. Animo Cell's got 7 lengths to make up, and then Factoring to the outside. The one to catch is Catharsis, a 44.62 half mile. And they're into the stretch. Catharsis off the turn in front. Avery Maeve on the outside is second. Kitten's Cover Girl is bottled up. Here comes Le Naturel to the outside. In behind them is JoJo's Candy, and having to steady hard at the fence was She Put a Spell on Me. Factoring is closing on the far outside. Final 16th, it is Le Naturel, and up the inside, Kitten's Cover Girl. Kitten's Cover Girl up the rail to beat Le Naturel, and Avery Maeve, and Factoring was 4th in 120.36.
Kitten's Cover Girl, we talked about. It's tough to move horses up off claim and Wesley Ward ones, and this horse wins after getting beat a neck last time out of the Wesley Ward barn.
Well, Pat Reynolds was right. All that happened was I had to stop picking his horses. First horse that this combination of Robert Amendola and Pat Reynolds they've had that I haven't picked.
Wow. Up the rail here, and in 5-7, and this was really a weird run race. The 4 and the 6 broke on top, and nobody wanted the lead besides the 4. And then Jose Ortiz, they were moving, yeah. But look at the rider on the 4. You look like he's confident, but now he's empty.
He can't get 7 furlongs at the end of the day. And this horse got some ride here. And this was a terrific ride by Paco Lopez coming through inside. And the Wesley Ward, horses claim from Wesley Ward, they ran 1-2 in here. No excuse for Avery Maeve. She couldn't have had a more perfect trip. My horse, the 12, also had no run. But this horse, nice ride. And Pat Reynolds, I told you they're good off the claim. Yeah. This one didn't get this one.
Can we take it back to the top of the stretch, guys, if we could? I want to take a look at the 2 who absolutely got sawed off. And this is what I don't like. You have the 4 here, Catharsis, the 4, who's basically not getting ridden by Kendrick Carmouche. He needs to stay in that spot. He cannot cut to the rail. When you go to the pan shot, he went right to the rail and destroyed the 2 who was making a giant move. You got to stay in your, most jockeys will tell you when your horse is dying, stay in your position. And watch here, watch the 2 start rolling around the rail right here. He's about to cut on the rail. Nah, not going on the rail because Kendrick's not going to let you have it with a dead horse.
Yeah, that completely nowhere to go there. For she put a spell on me and Javier Castellano. But look at this late burst from Kitten's Cover Girl to create separation there. Late stretch. Patrick Reynolds off the claim. And
this horse is going to pay giant in the
16-1 here. But yeah, to kick off, this was a difficult race to start this Naira Bets late pick 5.
Yes, it was. Very hard. Good luck if you're alive.
5, 7, 3, 11. Paco Lopez, Robert Amendola, Patrick Reynolds off the claim, and the daughter of Kitten's Joy comes up with a win here at a big price, 16-1 to start things off in this Naira Bets late pick 5. We're going to take a break. When we return, Saturday night at Churchill Downs and all stakes pick 4, including World Approval in action. We'll preview the sequence when we come back.
Grade 1 winner Lee traveled the world competing against the best of his generation. A graded stakes winner on both dirt and turf, he set a new track record in the Grade 1 Don Handicap and retired with earnings of more than $2.3 million. With his much-anticipated first foals hitting the ground this year, the sky is the limit for this promising young stallion, Lee, at Claiborne Farm. His record-breaking accomplishments on the racetrack paved his way here to the Stall of Legends. Now retired to stud, we welcome the dawning of a new era as this esteemed champion hopes to stake his claim to immortality. His blazing speed and striking good looks have been passed down to his remarkable first foals. Foals that will carry the flag of their famous father and one day hope to break records of their own. Medication-free and undefeated in sprint competition. Run happy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Welcome back to Belmont Park Live, and standing in the winner's circle, always love to be joined by Pat Reynolds, who sent out Kitten's Cover Girl here, Pat, 16-1. Never an anxious moment, at least by Paco, as he sat chilly and got up just in the final strides.
Yeah, the strategy was just not to cook her the first part of it, because it looked like there was some speed on paper anyhow. But, you know, on paper and what actually happens in the race, you know, a pro like Paco, you leave it up to him. Thank God he saved all the ground and got through.
And this partnership in claiming Kitten's Cover Girl, you and Mr. Amendola, goes back about 30 years and reunited. And is this your first winner that you've had since getting back together?
We had Have Another was our first winner. We dropped one in to get the ball rolling. And this one we felt, you know, we wanted to hang on or raise her up a little bit, try her in this spot. Got lucky, it worked out.
Well, congratulations. Well done here, Pat.
We needed it. Thanks, man.
All right, Greg, back to you.
Maggie, thank you. We do have an inquiry up. The 10-horse broke terribly in this race. Awesome Quick, and has been declared a non-starter. Track announcer Larry Colmus making that announcement right now.
Yeah, so it doesn't mean that you get included in your pick 3s to pick 4s. If you have the 10 on anything, you're just going to get refunded.
No, pick 3s you get refunded.
Well, pick 3s you get
pick
refunded.
4s.
Like pick 5s and pick 4s and pick 6s, you go to the favorite, which obviously did not win. But if you have the 10 on any of your tickets, put them through the machine or hold on to them and look back on your account. You might have some money in it, yeah.
Bet in Naira Bets like I did.
Yeah.
You get your money back.
So 16-1 start. Quite a few people knocked out of the NYRA Bets late pick 5.
No one I know.
By the way, 55,000 for the early pick 5. 55,000.
Yeah, solid pool.
I had it. I got even for the meet.
Wow.
I wish.
Well, tomorrow night's going to be a big night at Churchill Downs. Not only Justify being paraded in front of the fans, that happens around 6:45 Eastern time, but also Stephen Foster night and an all-stakes pick 4. Special night means a stakes-filled card and a 10% winner's bonus for you when you play your pick 4s through the NYRA Bets app. Card starts at 6 Eastern Saturday with 4 pick 4s. So download the app in the App Store on NYRABets.com, and on all of those pick 4s, you get a 10% bonus through NYRA Bets. Let's take a look at the Wise Dan that kicks off the all-stakes pick 4. And, of course, this race marks the return of World Approval, who had a tough trip out to the West Coast in the Kilroe Mile.
Yeah, he flopped a little bit to Bowie's Hero, and he was a heavy favorite that day, and he won the Tampa Bay. Now, he's been lightly raced. He comes back, this gray sun of Northern Fleet. He has to beat one horse for me, Divisadero. Divisadero needs to get pace to run into. He's 3 for 3 at Churchill Downs, but, you know, Mr. Cub is the only one that can maybe keep this. I guess somebody coming. Shining Copper is going to go. World Approval is going to sit in that nice little spot.
Yeah, but I don't trust him up his last race.
I don't
yeah,
either.
He caught
He was
lightning in a
dull.
bottle last year, but I'm not taking a horse that are super short. Certainly not singling. You got to use him, Paul. But he was bad last time. How about Inspector Lindley? Using him.
Meanwhile, in the Fleur de Lis, grade 2 at a mile and an 1/8, Blue Prize, we saw here in New York win the top flight. That was 2 starts back, been first or second in 11 of 13 starts.
I mean, Blue Prize is a really nice horse for Nacho Correas, and he obviously has a chance in this race, or she does, excuse me. She's meeting a tougher, more competitive field than the one she's been running in. I think Mobitism's going to be the favorite in this race. She's not going to be 8-1 like her morning line. I like Mobitism coming in for Doug O'Neill.
Meanwhile, grade 1, Stephen Foster. We've talked a lot on this show about Backyard Heaven for Chad Brown. Obviously, Patch making the return as well, but Irish War Cry. It seems like everyone's forgot about this horse. He had that big return to the winner's circle in the Pimlico Special that I know Graham Motion, it meant a lot to him because this horse is trained just lights out consistently in the morning, but sometimes he just doesn't show up.
He's confused, Graham. Graham will even say he just throws in a clunker whenever he wants to, but when he shows up, you get this kind of Irish War Cry. But listen, they got to beat the Now horse, and the Now horse is Backyard Heaven. He's been good, really good, and he probably surprised them a little bit being 8-1 in his debut, but he might be the favorite in here and the heavy favorite in the Stephen Foster.
Grade 3 Regret will close out this pick 4 sequence. Mile and an 1/8 on the turf, and the up-and-comer Romantic Moment. 2 starts on turf, 2 victories. Is she up to the task?
She definitely looks like one of about 13 that can win this race. I'm going to use the old Paul LaDuca all button in this race. I may have to single Backyard Heaven, go thin in the first couple of races, and use a whole lot in here. This is always a fun race, but Romantic Heaven is one who can win, as Stave is as well for Larry Jones.
I talked to a couple people today that look at this race. They want to all it. They want to try to get somebody here to all to this race. It is. Andy's right. Besides, listen, besides the 50-1 shot who you really can't make a case for, you can make a case for 12 runners in there.
You know, Greg, that's good for you because you like the old all -1.
Usually, and for now on, though, when I do that, I'm going to let you guys know because it's a sure thing. The ones that I don't use is going to win. It's gold.
I once missed like a $200,000 pick 6 on closing day in Saratoga years ago. Used 4 of 5 in one of the races, and Cody's Key, the one I didn't use, won.
The racing gods are just cruel, cruel people.
Oh, I've seen it happen to some people. It's happened to me before. I went all on accident because I thought there were scratches. 60-1. It has happened to all of us. All but one will kill you.
I just had a memory of a few days ago. Price is in from Kittens Cover Girl. $34.40. I was over it, too. Thanks for bringing it back up. A huge price to start off this NYRA Bets late pick 5. Congrats if you are still alive. Obviously a long way to go, though.
Well, listen, Andy called these connections about 3 days ago. Hey, you better pay attention to them. And you didn't bet him this time, $34.40, but it's still a good call by you. And there's that consolation pick 3 with the 10, about $9. Who was a non-starter again, guys.
No matter how many losers I bet, I still have friends like you guys.
Early pick 5, by the way, 54,000 plus. Wow. Our NYRA Bets late pick 5, that's a nice pool, 58,000 plus, and a huge price to start it off already. So a lot of people knocked out. Good luck. We're going to take it the next 3 legs of the sequence and see how this plays out. We're going to take a break in the action. We will be back. We'll talk race 6. New York bred maiden special weight at a mile and 16th is coming up next.
Make NyraBets your home for online horse racing and betting. Start earning your sign-up bonus right now. With NyraBets, you can use our state-of-the-art website to bet on live horse racing at over 200 tracks around the world. Bet anywhere, anytime, using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Build your bankroll with our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up now at NyraBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus now. Get a $200 new member sign-up bonus on NyraBets.com.
Lightfoot switches back to the outside. Exaggerator down to the 16th pole, but Exaggerator has turned the tables. He has won the Preakness. He has won the Travers over American Flag. Irish War Cry has won the Wood Memorial. Alice. Good Magic's gonna win his first race, and he's gonna do it in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Orb is coming with giant strides in the center of the track. And here comes Orb on the outside, now to take the lead as they come down to the 16th pole. It is Orb in front from Normandy Invasion, My Loot, and Golden Soul between horses, down to the wire. Orb has won the Kentucky Derby.
Oh, Shug McGahee said, I always dreamed of this day, and it finally came for him. What a moment. Orb winning the Kentucky Derby is the 5-1 post-time favorite. With Joel Rosario aboard, owned by Stuart Janney, and an incredibly popular win for a trainer that's been waiting a long, long time for that. Show presented, of course, by Claiborne Farm. And we take a look at the 3, Mrs. Orb, taking the blinkers off today.
Let me just say, you know that Orb is one of, I think, 8 horses that broke their maiden on the Cigar Mile card that won a Grade 1 later in their career.
Wow,
Kind of an amazing statistic, yeah. Mrs. Orb can win in here, and she and the great Joanna finished at the wire together last time out behind a heavy favorite. One of the things that makes this race difficult to handicap is 3 of the major players are coming out of races on sloppy sealed tracks. Will they reproduce those efforts or even improve on them on a dry track?
You make a great point, and they're probably the 3 contenders.
They're
They
the 3
really
logical horses on paper.
Yeah, they are. You make a great point there, especially with Take Charge Aubrey. But listen, I thought she fought on good here. She really did. She was hanging in there most of the way. You can't argue with the effort. I mean, I thought it was very good.
This horse was in that race with Mrs. Orb last out. The great Johanna finished just ahead of her, had the lead in the stretch, got caught late at almost 20-1. But we don't know a whole lot about her as well.
She's a better price in the doubles, and she arguably ran better. And it's a funny day because there's no evidence that you didn't want to be towards the inside. It's just riders mostly stayed away from the inside, and this horse was right down near the rail.
2 sprints, and now the stretch out for the 6, who is the favorite right now for Bruce Levine. That is Take Charge Aubrey. David Cohen aboard today.
Well, even race first time out. Broke step slow. I mean, I know it says 11 of 11, but it wasn't that bad. The horse literally got in front immediately. Then last time out, I mean, this was a tough beat. But again, like Andy says, did the slop move the horse up?
Well, I will say with this one, Paul, I thought actually she ran sneaky well in her debut, as you sort of alluded, because she was up front early.
Yeah.
She dropped back like she was going to finish nowhere, and then she kind of re-rallied in there. But also the question with her, besides the dry track, and that is a reasonable question, Do we know if she wants to go a mile and a 16th? That last race was 6.5 furlongs. She's got to go an extra quarter mile today, and the sire says yes, but his produce hasn't necessarily excelled stretching out in distance.
5-2 current favorite. Take Charge Aubrey. If you got knocked out of the Naira Bets late pick 5, never fear, the pick 4 here for you just in time. You see 116,000 plus in that pool and growing. Time for a paddock report. Let's go to Maggie Wolfendale. It's brought to you by Hillendale Farm, now standing Byron for $25,000.
Greg, thank you. And it's funny that we see several of the horses in here actually changing surfaces, if you will, as many of these runners ran on a sloppy seal track in their last starts, including number 6, Take Charge Aubrey, who's also trying to stretch out in distance. I don't necessarily see it with her. She looks great. She's very, very fit in here as she's kind of second off that little bit of a layoff. And though, too, this is a filly that was entered and scratched several times over between her first and second start. So I don't love that either. She ran well enough, though, in her last start to make her a major player here. I just don't see where the distance is really, truly going to be her friend. Moving on to the outside runner in number 7, Party in the Sand. Now, we really don't know the overall talent levels or capabilities of this filly, as there isn't much pedigree to write home about, especially stretching out in distance. But what we did see is a filly that broke very, very slowly at first asking and then make up a tremendous amount of ground in that same race as Take Charge Aubrey, where that race was dominated on the front end. I'm actually pleased with what I see here, though, for trainer Charlie Baker. She is a longer, scopier type, where I'm willing to kind of maybe throw out the pedigree a little bit and judge her as an individual for the fact that physically she looks very capable of getting this one-term mile and a 16th. So we'll see. Does the way that she ran first time give us an indication of her wanting more ground, or is it an indication of her being a closing sprinter? We'll find out, though, today. And we'll also find out, number 1, Quietly Quick is a dirt horse. For me, I don't think so. She's extremely good looking. She's a big, strong, robust filly. She physically kind of towers over the rest of her competition here, but she has a massive turf hoof to her. She's bred to be a turf horse. The dam couldn't handle the dirt at all, and they put the blinkers on. We'll see what she does here. It's not as if Christoph has overwhelming numbers either with this kind of move to make you feel confident in him switching surfaces. So she's gonna have to win without me, though, here today, guys.
Puzzling race here with a bunch of horses who ran on a sloppy track last time out. The one horse has only been on turf. We will see what happens. We have the post parade coming up in just a few moments here. We're going to take a break in the action. Want to remind everyone, get signed up, started, and get down to the pick 4 that we have coming up. Bet from home and bet anywhere with the Naira Bets app. Sign up now, bet 200. You'll get $200 in your account if you use that promo code LIVE. If you're a new member, go to nairabets.com. Get signed up and started. Quick break. We'll be back with more on Belmont Park Live right after this.
Make Naira Bets your home for online horse racing and betting. Start earning your sign-up bonus right now. With Naira Bets, you can use our state-of-the-art website to bet on live horse racing at over 200 tracks around the world. Bet anywhere, anytime, using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Build your bankroll with our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up now at nairabets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus now. Naira Bets, racing's best play.
We're back on Belmont Park Live on MSG Plus Prime Ticket and Fox Sports San Diego. Good to be with you. Maiden special weight coming up in a race that kicks off the late pick 4, mile on the 16th. New York breds in a maiden special weight. Take Charge Aubrey, the favorite right now. We're going to talk about the horse outside, though, quickly here. Party in the Sand for Charlie Baker. She did not run a step for the first half of that race, and then all of a sudden she kind of kicked into gear a little bit once she got her feet underneath her, and I think maybe part of the reason she didn't win all that great at the beginning, the horse right next door to her broke through the gate at the very beginning, didn't completely run off, but it might have shook her a little bit. It was her first time in the starting gate.
Well, she broke a little slow and then just, as you say, took herself completely out of the race. It's one of these situations where you say, well, first time out, she was immature, she was just learning what to do. Now she stretches out, she had that big close, but do they really run better when they stretch out, or is she ultimately more of a closing sprinter? Her trainer, Charlie Baker, is a terrific trainer. His numbers stretching out in the dirt are not strong.
So it's such a tough read because you're right. He crawled, or she crawled out of the gate.
And sloppy track.
Yeah, and it was a sloppy racetrack. She just don't know, but it's a tough read.
Meanwhile, on the rail, another tough read here. This is production play. 2 starts. Both came on turf for Quietly Quick, the 1.
I picked her on a total guess. I figured her price would be okay. I've seen Christophe Clement do okay with this move overall. Maggie didn't love this horse for the dirt. I'm taking a shot because I have no idea in this race.
Let's go downstairs to Maggie for more.
And I'm joined by trainer Mike Maselli, who will send out Mrs. Orb here. But, Mike, let's go back really quick to the last race. You sent out Awesome Quick. She was declared a non-starter. Can you tell our viewers what happened?
She just prior to breaking, she kind of threw a little fit in the starting gate, which she's never done before, but there's always the first time. And that she wasn't prepared at the start and got away bad. And that was the reason why she was declared a non-starter.
Hopefully we'll see her back soon, but matter at hand of now is Mrs. Orb. And taking the blinkers off today, talk a little bit about this filly's development over her last 3 races and the fact she finally gets a fast track.
Well, the first time we run her was on turf. She didn't care for it too much, and she always had blinkers on because she was kind of a green filly. But as she got more training and got a little more seasoned, we cut the cups back. And actually, when she ran last time, it was a very short cup on the blinkers, so it was almost like having no blinkers. And we decided to take them off completely because she was getting a little fussy with them going to the gate, kind of rubbing to try to take them off. But today she took everything nice in the paddock, and she's been training forwardly. Hope she'll run a good race today.
She looks excellent out there, Mike. Best of luck, and thanks for talking to us.
Okay, thank you, Maggie.
Greg?
Here comes our post parade, and we start with the filly who's only been on turf so far. Quietly Quick. Blinkers go on for Christophe Clement.
Taking a stab with this one. She really does have much more of a turf pedigree, however.
Light Worker, the 2, taking a step up in class. Junior Alvarado aboard.
You know, this filly has gotten better with each start. Now she needs to stretch it out and get even more.
3-horse Mrs. Orb, just heard from the trainer. The blinkers off today.
Her trainer, Mike Maselli, does a very good job with the horse he has. She tries a dry track for the first time in the dirt.
March 2 Madness, trained by Mark Hennig. Paco Lopez rides.
Yeah, Paco's going to look for a double here at 9-1. They put blinkers on last time. It didn't work, and now off the shelf.
The Great Johanna raced really good on the stretch out to a mile, but that was a sloppy racetrack last start for James Ferraro.
It was such a dramatic improvement her last race over her first 2 races, which were both on harrowed racetracks, that I wonder if it was the sloppy sealed surface.
Take Charge Aubrey, 2 sprints, and now stretching out for Bruce Levine with David Cohen.
She's got to take that race, her last race, and she'd be tough in here. Lost by a nose. Tough luck loser last time.
And Party in the Sand. Second time out here for Charlie Baker.
Party in the park, party in the sand. Can she be more professional in her second start?
6-1. Chris DiCarlo in the irons. The pick 4 begins here. We're approaching the 7-minute mark to post. Take Charge Aubrey, one of many with a big chance in this spot. She is the 2-1 current favorite here. Daughter of Take Charge Indy. We're 7 minutes from a start. We'll have it for you live when we come back. Who is that hiding out there?
Mastery retired undefeated, winning his 4 starts by a combined 20 lengths. A 6-figure September sale purchase, he won impressively in his 2-year-old debut at Santa Anita. From there, he captured the Grade 3 Bob Hope Stakes and completed his juvenile campaign with a dominant performance in the Grade 1 Los Alamitos Futurity. At 3, the top-rated son of Candy Ride sizzled in the San Felipe, running a 105 buyer and winning by open lengths. Mastery, new for 2018 at Claiborne Farm.
We're back on a beautiful Friday afternoon here on Belmont Park Live. Late pick 4 is coming up, and there is Quietly Quick for the Christophe Clement barn. 2 starts on turf, both going long. Blinkers go on today, and now getting on the main track for the first time.
She's just a total wild card in this race because you don't know if she can be effective at all in the dirt. And for me, she's just one of these sort of all-or-none picks. I wouldn't bet her anywhere below her current odds of 4-1. She was engaged in the pace in a race that basically collapsed last time out. I don't think her effort was really that bad, but she's going to have to show she can run on dirt.
This race is the ultimate projection play
It really
for this
is.
field, isn't it?
It is.
Here's the 4. March 2 Madness. She's made 3 starts, and she took a step backwards last time out.
Her race 2 back is good enough to give her a chance in this race. Her last race was atrocious. I couldn't make an excuse for her at all. I thought she just didn't run at all.
When you look at this race, you look at the 1, never run on dirt, so there's a question mark there, but has the buyer speed figures are right there. The 2, never gone long. The 3 has, but on a sloppy racetrack, and the other horse is sloppy racetrack. So many things need to be answered in here. I guess we'll figure it out at the end of the race, but, I mean, like, it really is. I can't argue with you if you like some of these other horses. Like I said, the 2, I get it. The horse has been in lower rung, 20,000, 40,
Cheaper
30,
races.
cheaper races. But Great Joanna did it, right? Went from 40 and ran a bang-up race.
Yeah.
So, like, where these horses stand, I don't know. You know, like, I'm not going to bet the 4, to be honest with you, but...
My principle in a race like this is I don't want the favorite. Because if you're looking at the field and thinking, gee, I can't even make a really... I feel like any of them could win. Why would I want to take the one that's going to be the shortest price? Because if the shortest price one looked good, you'd know, well, that's the one to beat. You know, I might want to try to beat that horse or not, but I don't even feel like I know who the horse to beat in this race is. Because the 6 does not have to want to go a mile and 16th.
No, for sure. But remaining the 5-2 favorite right now is that 6. 2 sprints now stretching out. For more, as we get close to post here, let's go downstairs to Maggie.
Well, a horse that you don't have to worry about handling the distance per se is number 3, Mrs. Orb, who I just caught up with her trainer, Mike Maselli. And as I kind of mentioned, I think she looks the best that I've seen her in all 3 of her starts thus far. She's the most relaxed, she's the most fit, and she's dappled head to toe. She looks sensational in the paddock. We'll see, though. I was a little concerned with the surface change in that I thought she was a filly that would like a sloppy track, so we'll see what she does over this fast strip here today. Moving on to the outside runner, that's Party in the Sand. As I was mentioning, I was pleasantly surprised with what I saw in the paddock, even more so out on the track. Her rider, Chris DiCarlo, took her away from the pony, gave her a beautiful warm-up. She responded very well to it, just moved very freely and nicely, warmed up with that kind of quiet confidence. And 2, I'm sure Chris is thinking, well, we didn't get out of the gate at all last time, so let me get your mind on the game, get that blood pumping. So I think we'll see, hopefully, a decent effort from Party in the Sand. I still don't know what exactly to think from her, but what I've observed from her as an individual, I've liked. Greg?
And Chris, of course, Chris DiCarlo, and he was on board for that debut. As I mentioned, though, in that first race, horse right next door to her broke through the gate. They had to reload her briefly. Maybe that kind of set her off a little bit and contributed to a poor start. We'll see. She definitely started running late, and maybe she'll pick up where she left off in that debut.
Well, she was running late. I mean, she really was way back in that race and did get her motor going late. I don't know exactly what to make of it. It was a very fast-paced race. And it's just so funny in racing. And I won't be shocked if she runs well, but it's so rare, these horses that put in these big closes in short-distance races have the same kind of effective close when they go longer in their next start. It's fool's gold.
She was not even on the screen. I mean, you can't even find her in that
No, I
race.
do get it. I love that
I'm familiar with that feeling.
I love that she made up ground on a wet surface, too. Like, maybe she liked the wet surface, but she probably wasn't clean at the end of that race. So she ran on with a little dirt in her face. So she showed a little grit.
She did. That's why she's intriguing. 6-1 right now. I would think well, she was 25-1 first time out. Now you're only getting 6-1.
True.
I mean, to be honest, the 4 is, the 4 at 10-1. I didn't like the 4, but that race 2 back, and I will say that 2 back, we don't know if she wants to go long either, though she has a pedigree suggests she should handle it. Her race 2 back is pretty good because she was close to that quick pace early, dropped back and came again. I'm perplexed.
It's a difficult race. That's why we thought this Now Bet's late pick 5 was so delicious today.
Yeah. The other thing about this race is whoever gets in front of this race could be very dangerous because I don't know if anybody's really going to want to pass each other at a mile and 16.
The 6 shows the speed she showed this time. She'll be in front, but the 5, Great Joanna, could show speed as well. Though Joe Bravo's not necessarily the most aggressive rider. Yeah. So I think if David Cohen wants the lead with Take Charge Aubrey, he's getting it.
We have the gate open on both the 3 and the 5. Mrs. Orb, the 3, being loaded right now. And then the Great Joanna. So the 2 horses coming out of the same race last time out. Gates open on both of them to coax them in line. But it is Take Charge Aubrey, 9-5 favorite. Now, lowest price she has been in the wagering. As Andy said, she should be in front. If she shows the speed she did last time, can she keep on going on the stretch out? We're going to find out. Let's send it upstairs for the start of the late pick 4. Here is the voice of New York Racing. As we see the 4 actually going to have to be reloaded, broke through the gate, and they're going to take this one around.
Did not run off.
Reload. That's March 2 Madness. So, yeah, luckily did not get far away. The 7, meanwhile, waiting patiently to load. That's Party in the Sand. So they will try again with the 4. And we will send it upstairs to Larry Colmus.
And here comes March 2 Madness back to the starting gate here. Under Paco Lopez to move into the gate once again. And they're all in line. They're off. And a good beginning for the Great Johanna, who comes out sharply to take the early lead with Mrs. Orb away with speed to the inside. These 2 out to the front, and they're followed by Take Charge Aubrey, March to Madness, Light Worker, and Quietly Quick, who's down on the inside. Party in the Sand is well behind early on, about 9 lengths off the lead as Mrs. Orb takes charge up the backstretch. Light Worker on the inside fights for the front through a 23.45 quarter. Right off of them is March to Madness and the Great Johanna. Quietly Quick is on the inside. Take Charge Aubrey right in the mix too. Splitting horses and 4 from the front. It's 6 lengths more back to Party in the Sand. They continue their way toward the far turn here. And they are tightly packed on the lead through a half mile in 47.11 seconds. Mrs. Orb taken on by March to Madness on the outside at the half-mile pole. The Great Johanna takes 3rd. Into 4th is Take Charge Aubrey. Light Worker drops back on the inside. And then it's Quietly Quick. Party in the Sand still at the rear of the field as they make their way around the turn. Mrs. Orb, March to Madness, the 2 of them vying for command here. And on their outside, the Great Johanna is sent along 3 wide. Take Charge Aubrey is in behind the leaders, waiting for a spot there in 4th. And now swings to the inside, and they're into the stretch. The Great Johanna takes the lead on the outside, and Take Charge Aubrey has a huge chasm at the rail now to come on through to grab the lead. Take Charge Aubrey and David Cohen to the front, and they're pulling away from the others. Take Charge Aubrey eased up under the wire. An easy winner by almost 8 lengths in the end over the Great Johanna. Then March to Madness, Mrs. Orb 4th in 145.01.
Well, the public was sure right. This horse 3-2 favorite in the end. 2 sprints, stretching out, and loved the extra ground.
One like 3-5 in here, and this may not have. This is a weird ride by David Cohen. He seemed to be taking some unnecessary chances, but as it turned out, Paul, he had a keg of dynamite underneath him.
Yeah, he did, and there wasn't much behind him. The Great Johanna took the overland route, and he was loaded. And he probably should have taken the overland route. He took a little shot going up the rail, and he won. He was much the best.
Well, yeah, I mean, the horse broke on top. He wanted no part of the lead. And to be fair, maybe he's riding to instructions. The pace was relatively hot. But then he was inside, behind horses, between horses. And fortunately, it didn't really matter because this horse was an hour and a half the best. And David's ridden very well. Either this was a funny ride, but didn't make any difference whether he thought it was a good ride or a bad ride. She was a pole the best.
I don't think it mattered where he went with his horse, right?
It didn't. No. It's one of those things where, like, now we know who the best horse was that came off the slop. This filly by far.
Well, she handled the distance.
Yeah.
I mean, she obviously appreciated the distance. The other horses just didn't run that well. She had no problem with the distance. She was the best horse.
Wins for Glen Crest Farm, Bruce Levine, and David Cohen. Gets the job done by a country mile here in race 6 to start off this late pick 4 with the 3-2 post-time favorite. 6, 5, 4, 3. We're going to take a break in the action. Prices from this race will set up the 7th when we come back.
His record-breaking accomplishments on the racetrack paved his way here to the Stall of Legends. Now retired to stud, we welcome the dawning of a new era as this esteemed champion hopes to stake his claim to immortality. His blazing speed and striking good looks have been passed down to his remarkable first foals. Foals that will carry the flag of their famous father and one day hope to break records of their own. Medication-free and undefeated in sprint competition. Run happy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Make Naira Bets your home for online horse racing and betting. Start earning your sign-up bonus right now. With Naira Bets, you can use our state-of-the-art website to bet on live horse racing at over 200 tracks around the world. Bet anywhere, anytime, using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Build your bankroll with our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up now at NairaBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus now. Get a $200 new member sign-up bonus on NairaBets.com.
Take charge. Aubrey completely took charge of this race and loved the extra ground that she got today. First time going longer for Bruce Levine and Glen Crest Farm.
Congratulations to this filly by Take Charge Indy out of the Milwaukee Broomare, Dr. Zick. And she's a half to Westfest, who did win about 180,000 routing. Congratulations, you're right, to Glen Crest Farm and David Cohen getting the job done. Don't need much to get in this game. They paid $20,000 for this filly. They got all that $20,000 back today.
$5.10 on the winning end with the stretch out play. Let's go downstairs. Maggie standing by with a winning trainer.
Yes, joined by Bruce Levine here, Greg. And Bruce, Take Charge Aubrey ran very well last time. Considering that was at 6 furlongs, what made you take the jump out here to a mount of 16?
I always thought she'd go long. She'd galloped out good in the first start. In the last start, she kind of got bogged down a little bit in that sloppy on the inside. I think she took the worst of it. And, you know, she had the 2 sprints, and then, you know, we just decided let's take our shot today, and it worked out well.
Now, it never works out well for me when there's a horse named after somebody, me or somebody in my family, but this one named after the owner's daughter.
Yes, it is, and she's a pretty girl, too.
Yes, she is. Horse and child, so congratulations here, Bruce. Well done.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, Greg.
Here's another look. You see David Cohen behind horses right there. What's he going to do? I'll shift down to the inside, go to the rail.
Whatever happened to protecting the rail? Didn't the shortest way home used to be the rail?
Saving ground's a good thing, isn't it?
Well, it depends. I think some of the riders always worry the inside's not the place to be at Belmont.
It wouldn't have mattered if that horse was 8 wide or the rail.
Deal,
yeah, right. What's Kitten's cover girl Andy going to play in that pick 5?
Well, I mean, I guess you could argue in that pick 5 probably is about $100, right?
Yeah,
so
somewhere in there.
1 out of $50 alive. There's probably about $1,000, probably about 2,000 tickets alive right now. How's that?
I'd like to be alive.
Well, if not, we got to pick 3. It's starting right here.
True.
You'll probably be
Go
alive
after
in that, Paul. At least for now.
We got more coming up. We'll set the stage for race 7. When we return, the big R on the chest. The Ramsey's ready for battle. Battle Station actually broke his maiden first time out. He did it on the turf, and then he has not returned to the turf since. He gets back on the lawn today. We'll be back.
Make NyraBets your home for online horse racing and betting. Start earning your sign-up bonus right now. With NyraBets, you can use our state-of-the-art website to bet on live horse racing at over 200 tracks around the world. Bet anywhere, anytime, using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Build your bankroll with our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up now at NyraBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus now. NyraBets, racing's best play.
Kentucky Derby winner Orb has emerged as one of the nation's most promising young stallions. The leading freshman sales sire of weanlings, yearlings, and 2-year-olds, his first runners are off to a fast start. His debut winners have dazzled on the track, scoring on both dirt and turf. In the sales rep, his yearlings continue to command top prices, including the $1 million co-sale topper at Saratoga. Outstanding value, outstanding results, or standing at Claiborne Farm.
Band's playing and the dancers dancing.
Ken and Sarah still make it to the races.
Run off with. Are you saying we could upset even money, Charlie? Sounds good.
When it comes to horse racing, Ken Ramsey is all in. Owner.
He's named after my father.
Breeder.
Bodie Ramsey. This horse is by a Bodie-meister.
Gambler.
Bet $1,000 on it.
And lover of the game.
So this horse was actually bought for a dirt horse, but he ran so well that they decided to put him out on the turf up here again this time. It's a challenge, you know. You're matching wits against everybody else. So I do my handicapping if I've got time, and I don't pay attention to the odds except for value. I never bet anything that's odds on. I mean, not a man alive can stay alive betting 3, 4, 5, 4 to 5. You can't do it.
Be a $200 exact prize, $270. I got a bunch of grandkids up here. They all expect to go home and win.
So I look for value, and I usually try to play the exotics because that's where the big money is. That's why I play the pick 6, the pick 3, and I especially like the pick 5 because the takeout's low.
In 2004, Roses in May showed the Ramseys the world.
Roses in May, holding Choctaw Nation and Dynamite, and for Roses in May, it's Gallons in March. Roses in May first.
That was our first taste of international racing, to go to Dubai and pull that off, the world's richest race.
Those joyous moments are enhanced by his wife and family. And even more importantly, it was Roses in May's 2004 victory in the Whitney Handicap that showed them their future summer home, Saratoga.
Roses in May in a spectacularly game performance to win by a nose.
It's not one of our favorite tracks. It is our favorite track. There's no other track that I would buy a house in the town just to go to the racetrack. Horse owner's dream. Great view. Sit here and talk to D. Wayne and Billy Mott and all the rest of the crew every morning. The atmosphere, the town, the very best racing, best trainers, the best jockeys. You go over there and they got the bands playing and the dancers dancing.
Well, you saw that little house there that overlooks the Oklahoma training track at Saratoga, and their backyard there, they call it Backyard Heaven, and that's how they name the horse who's going to be running in the Stephen Foster on Saturday night.
Listen, Mr. Ramsey, he's not shy in telling you when he likes a horse. He'll send it in. He's not shy about taking chances. Listen, this is a guy that went all in on his sire, Kitten's Joy, and put all his chips into one basket, and it paid off for him.
No question about it. He gambles, he bets, he's involved in the game. He's greatly entertaining, and every time I see him, I think of John Huston as Noah Cross in Chinatown.
It's a great
comparison.
Yeah. Although Ken Ramsey, much better person.
Than Noah Cross?
Yeah, than Noah Cross, yes. But he's right. The way he plays, that's what you saw there is not fake. He fires. He fires and he plays.
Yeah.
Well, he's got this horse coming up right here, Battle Station, and he should be excited about this if he's anywhere near a window right now. This horse only trying the turf was the debut at Saratoga, and it was a winning effort. The horse he beat in here, Barbarossa, would win by 8.5 lengths on the turf next time out.
Yeah, we were talking about it off camera. It makes sense that he hasn't been back on the turf because they tried him on dirt in his next start, and there's many opportunities on the dirt for the 2-year-old New York bred, especially during the winter when we have no turf racing, and he's a New York bred. When he won in the dirt, they kept running with dirt races. It made perfect sense. But now he's filled his conditions. So as a New York bred, the only New York bred races he could run in the dirt are stakes races for older horses. Well, he can't beat those horses now. So now he can run against opens as a non-winners of one because he only won restricted races when he won conditions before.
Yeah, you can't blame the condition. You can't blame the connections, too. You can't blame. Listen, when you win by 9.25 lengths on the dirt, how do you not go back on the dirt? You know what I mean? Then they took the blinkers off. They started tinkering a little bit. And listen, he got another win, too, over the slop. He's got 2 little stakes wins.
He's also the controlling speed in this race.
Yeah, that's true, too.
Yes, he is. Very interesting, and he's getting played big time right now. He's 8-5 on the board. Battle Station, the 9. Public thinks he is heavily the one to beat. We'll talk more about this field, though, when we come back on Belmont Park Live.
Bayern turning for home in front. Host of New York on the outside. California Chrome is third. Shared Belief laboring back to in fifth. 1 furlong to run. Bayern, host of New York. California Chrome on the outside. The 3 of them come to the wire. Bayern, host of New York. California Chrome. Here's the finish. Bayern, Bayern holds on.
Welcome back to Belmont Park Live on this Party in the Park evening. We are approaching race number 7. It's an allowance race. We're going 6 furlongs here, and all the money coming in on, of course, a Wesley Ward trainee who is getting back to the turf after he's only stepped foot on it once, which was in his debut, which he did win. And Battle Station, I think, is a horse who is a New York bred A, who's also run out of his New York bred conditions, unless he wants to run for 40. So his next option is to go to this A Other Than. And the A Other Than on the main track is just a little bit too tough for him. I think he's meeting horses that he could easily handle here. And as Andy and the guys were talking, that he is a controlling speed here. And I will say, kind of matching him up against this crew as opposed to the crew last time in that dirt sprint, he looks as though he's the head of the class in here, and I like him getting back to turf. I think he should be tough, but we've seen lots of upsets here today, except in the last race, of course. But moving on to one that is a big price, that's number 12, Tis He the One for Linda Rice. I was maybe mildly interested in this horse on paper, but he's the one that my eye just kept going back to here in the paddock. He's a big, good-looking son of Tis Wonderful. Yes, they tend to be that way. He does come back here as a new gelding. I would opt to say that while I haven't seen him in the past, hasn't changed him much. He's still a big, robust guy who is pretty strong acting here in the paddock. He's on the muscle on his toes, and he is turning back in distance, which it often doesn't work. But if you watch his races, at least the one that was contested on a firm turf course at Laurel, he ran well for about 7 furlongs, and then he completely kind of collapsed. So turning back in distance actually might work well for him. And while he is that bigger type of horse, he's also shorter backed, shorter coupled, built downhill. And the fact that he is sharp here bodes well for his chances getting on the turf, coming back, going the 3/4 here, Greg.
That paddock report brought to you by Hillendale Farm, now standing Curlin for $150,000. Who want to remind everybody watching every day at Belmont Park Live, you can play along for free with other fans with the Belmont Showdown. Visit NYRA.com/showdown to watch your name climb the leaderboard and compete with other fans for points that equal money in your account. And there, another look at Battle Station, 3-2. The speed back on turf for just the second time in his career, which he debuted and won on back at Saratoga last summer.
I tell you, I think in some ways he's a horse to beat, but 3-2 is an awfully short price. I mean, there's some talented runners in this race, like the 8 Yummy Bear. Want to talk about the 12 Tis He the One, even Pagliacci. 3-2 is awfully short.
Yeah, well, let's talk about Yummy Bear. And there is the 8 briefly on the edge of your screen. They're just leaving the picture. Manny Franco will be aboard for David Donk. David Donk has 2 in the race. He has the 3 as well. But Yummy Bear, if you throw out that Kingston, those last couple of starts, if he can repeat either of those, he's going to be very tough in here.
Well, before the Kingston was a mile against better horses. He had no chance in that race. His prior races were all at 6 furlongs, and every single one of them were good efforts. I mean, one could argue he's kind of the one to beat in here based on his races, and he's 5-1, and the 9 is 3-2. It's a big discrepancy that shouldn't exist.
Yeah, because if you look at Yummy Bear's races, there's 4 races on Yummy Bear's 10 races that we see here, and that one right there that actually beat the 9.
Yeah.
So people are projecting the 9's going to move way forward, and it's Wesley Ward, where they should be way more closer.
And they're seeing stakes. They're seeing stakes with the 9. He's what we call stake-faced. But those are New York-bred stakes on the dirt.
But again, the big X factor, the kind of meat Wesley Ward's been having, how much his horses have been improving, he's been sending out. What do you do with that?
I mean, he's a known quantity. He's got speed. He's a slight favorite. Now, if you look at the doubles, it's going to be much closer than 3-2 and 5-1 by post time.
Yeah, the 1's getting a little play, but the 8's clearly the second choice in here.
John Velasquez, the Hall of Famer aboard him. One last look at him right there as we have a good crowd on hand on this Friday afternoon for the Party in the Park. Twilight action here. Are they getting their barbecue on?
Why not?
Because we need some of that up here, right?
Beautiful day. Yeah, big crowd down there. That's one of the most popular spots at Belmont, the party parts, the barbecue pits.
And what, music after the races too?
Yeah.
Did you guys stay for Third Eye Blind on Belmont Day?
No, I did
not.
not.
Paul sang a few songs in the band. You didn't hear about it?
Please, that's one thing I can't.
You were singing The
Office
Office earlier.
We heard Paul sing today, and it was not pretty.
No, it was
I tell you what, though. You get me on Name That Tune, I can name it in half a note.
Yeah, but the way that you sing it, no one would be able to.
Listen, that is true. That's why I sing in my car in the shower.
I still don't know the song you were trying to sing to us. We're going to see
I've been in
Ambassador
your car,
Jim
I'm not
first.
getting in your shower.
Ambassador Jim will kick off our post parade here in a moment. There's a call to post. Irad Ortiz Jr. on board for Christophe Clement, coming out of back-to-back stakes races.
You know, Maggie had commented on this horse that he had just not grown from 2 to 3, and his 2 races suggest that.
3-horse, the Crocheron Kid, one of 2 in here for trainer David Donk.
I got mad love for the Crocheron Kid. I don't know if he's good enough to win, but he puts in a good effort in dirt sprints.
He's shown that he's not better than Yummy Bear to this point. Polar Jet, first time on turf for Linda Rice.
And a horse that's in very, very good condition right now. I've been running good races. Not a lot of turf pedigree, but I don't question Linda.
Pagliacci, Andy Serling likes this one for Belmont.
Taking a small chance with this one. I think Belmont's sort of interesting. He's trying to sprint with this horse. He might be smart enough to be right with a horse that's run fast enough in some of his races to compete.
Funky Monkey Stable and David Donk send out the 8 Yummy Bear 9-2. That's a nice price on this horse.
It really is. The son of Sydney's Candy. 2 of his 4 wins here at Belmont.
Battle Station, here he is, the speedster for Wesley Ward.
He's going to the front. We'll see if he can back it down with John Velasquez.
8-5 right now. The 10, Axtel for Kevin Boniface, Paco Lopez aboard.
You know, this horse made a giant move at 40-1. I have a feeling he just loves Belmont. He's run his best races over this oval.
Home run maker. He was third to Vino Rosso in the second start of his career. This will be his turf debut.
That will be the highlight of his career. He has never been on the turf before.
And 'tis he, the one, 11-1 outside for Linda Rice.
The complete wild card in here. First time gelding for Linda, who's gotten bet on the turf twice from Laurel, and now is going to sprint. Just don't get the read on this one. This 'tis wonderful.
Oh, you don't think the 11 has any kind of shot, huh?
No, I don't. I'm not knocking horse's first time in the grass. Maybe Lors will love the grass. I think the 12 is the interesting price, though.
Big number, double-digit odds. We already had that big number, of course, to start off this Naira Bets. Late pick 5. Meanwhile, to the 1 again, Ambassador Jim. The maiden breaker came in the final start of his 2-year-old campaign. 4th time out, he broke his maiden. Then he tried a couple of stakes from off the pace, didn't make much headway.
Were they better? I mean, they put Lasix into him. And
that's a nice horse he faced last time out. You do?
Well, Black Stetson's a good horse, too.
He was bad last.
But he wasn't good last time.
Step last time.
That's
my
worry.
Not a step. I don't care if the horses he ran against are okay. He was bad. Listen, he's Andy off. I'll give you that. I picked him as both his last 2 starts. I give up. Maggie is right. This horse has not improved from 2 to 3, and he's just not fast enough on paper to beat many horses in this race.
With more on Ambassador Jim, let's go to Maggie.
Yes, as Andy said, I am not thrilled with what I've seen from this horse, at least as physicality is concerned. But I will say that at least in his first 2 efforts of this year, he's gotten himself very wound up and very nervous. Now, this time around in the paddock, they actually brought him over in a schooling pad saddle, for lack of a better term. It's just a pad that's shaped like a saddle that just has that surcingle around it to try to just ease his mind a little bit about getting the tack on. He's actually a little bit more calm, which is the only feather in his cap, to be honest. He's still not going to win me over. He's going to have to prove that he is the horse that he maybe thought about being last year, but I think it just kind of plateaued for him. Number 11, I think, is a little bit intriguing. Now, they tried to get him on the turf last time, yet he's still won in that race for Jeremiah Engelhardt. I really wish Maya was here today. Of course, I probably could have texted him and asked, but he's an into mischief, and these into mischiefs, they just seem to handle any kind of surface because you often see them have that turn of foot. Now, at least he hasn't shown that necessarily in his dirt races, but maybe we'll see it here today. He is an athletic type, so those kind of horses just translate well to any kind of surface that they're running on. I think at a big price, he's worth a look. Greg?
13-1, first time on turf for Home Run Maker. We shall see. You can play this race and all the races that we bring you on Belmont Park Live by getting signed up and started with Naira Bets. Bet any race, anytime, anywhere with the Naira app. Bet 200, you'll get 200 in your account when you use the promo code LIVE. Again, go to nairabets.com to get signed up and started. Here is the Linda Rice runner from the outside post. Going to be the 4-year-old debut and a first-time gelding.
2 long shots I want to use are the 7, Pagliacci, and this 12 horse, 'Tis He the One. You look at his first turf race. He ran very well in that race. Got a solid figure. He ran behind a talented Phipps horse named Bombs Away. he didn't really want the distance in there. Then he got a yielding turf. He didn't handle it, Paul. Been laid up since then. His first 2 races were sprinting on the dirt. He's been gelded. Maybe he's just a sprinter, and this is the right surface and the right distance.
Dangerous horse. You're right. And when you get to the 7, you get to a horse that's now cutting back in distance, never sprinted. They count that race on the turf. They count that race at Gulfstream 7.5 sprinting. It's not. It's 2 turns. The horse has never been around 1 turn. And who do you get aboard? You get Jose Ortiz at 9-1, and he looks well. So I'm in agreement. I thought the 7 and 12 were the 2 horses in here that could light up the board.
For a Hall of Fame trainer, Belmont, 7 horse at 9-1 on the board. And we all thought the price way too short on Battle Station. He's 9-5 right now. Meanwhile, Polar Jet, the other Linda Rice here, we have a late scratch in this race.
Polar Jet.
6 horse Polar Jet coming out. The other Linda Rice runner who's going to try the turf for the first time will not race today. So scratch the 6 Polar Jet.
And that's in everybody's best interest. Obviously, it's in the horse's best interest, and that's important, as is important to protect the public. That horse shouldn't be racing. You want the public to get their money back, and you certainly don't want anything to happen to the animal.
Yeah, that horse was a player, too, because, you know, he had
been declining.
It's declining, but he had shown some speed that can maybe hang with the 9, maybe not. I mean,
was the only one who would have been
well, the 11
attempt to stay close.
The 8 isn't that slow.
The 8's not that slow, and if the 11 takes to the turf, he can be right on him. He's shown a little bit of speed, I guess. The 1. What about the
9 is still an underlay at 3-2.
Keep pace with the 9.
I'm sorry. I understand why Battle Station is sort of the horse to beat. But he is not supposed to be 3-2. There are just proven good horses in this race, turf sprinters, particularly Yummy Bear.
But
the
I agree with
Ward
you.
Factor.
I mean, well, yeah, Wesley Ward factor for 1, and he's going to be by himself.
You think so?
Yeah, he's the fastest horse in here early.
So 3-2, but yeah, I agree with you guys.
Not at 3-2.
Not at 3-2.
So again, at that point, do you say, well, I let the board take me somewhere else?
Yeah. I mean, the name of the game is making money. Picking winners is one thing, but you don't make money picking 3-2 shots over time.
Conversely, you could say, I can create some value in this race. I could pick him on top, and then who do I use underneath in exactas or trifectas?
If you feel as though the 9 has to win, you look to play exactas or tries. And I've certainly used both the 12 and the 7 with the 9. A 9-7 or 9-12 will be okay with me, but I just think he's bad value. And so a horse like a 12 at 12-1 and 7 at 9-1 are solid win bets, at least in my opinion.
Sometimes you got to take a stand against maybe the 2nd and 3rd choice if you think the 9 can run. My stand's against the 1. I'm not taking a stand against the 8 because the 8 can win the race.
We all really don't like the 1, so that bodes.
Why is he 7? Why is he the same price as Yummy?
Yeah,
I don't get it.
I don't either.
I mean, I know tougher competition. Maybe he'll be part of the pace a little bit better, but I just don't know. He's going to have to make up 5-6 lengths on this horse.
3rd off the bench, 3rd start of his 3-year-old campaign, and this would be the day that he takes a move forward. We'll see. His first 2 starts have not been great of 2018.
I mean, at some point, if he doesn't run well in a race like this, he's going to be in a claiming race.
Battle
Where's
Station.
He going to go?
Nowhere.
Battle Station, the 9. He'll be out in front. Going to get it done on the turf again here for Wesley Ward with John Velasquez. Let's send it upstairs to the voice of New York racing, Larry Colmus.
Just 1 left to load here. 'Tis He the One. And Junior Alvarado coming up to line. Will complete the field here. Goes in. They're all in line. They're off. Battle Station goes out to the front with Axtell. Yummy Bear came out running in 3rd. And then it's Pagliacci in 4th, followed by Home Run Maker as they head up the backstretch. So up front, it is Battle Station, the leader. Axtell on the outside, 2nd. Pagliacci behind them. Then Yummy Bear running along in 4th. Home Run Maker is 5th. Tizzy the One is 6th. Ambassador Jim, 7th on the inside. And the Crocheron Kid is at the rear of the field through a 22.21 opening quarter mile as they make their way for the far turn. Battle Station on top. Axtell on the outside continues to press in 2nd. These 2 are 1-2 round the far turn. And then Yummy Bear to the outside of Pagliacci, who's fourth down toward the inside. Ambassador Jim follows in fifth. Then Tizzy the one. 44.15 the half. They're into the stretch. Battle Station, Axtell, Pagliacci in behind them. And to the outside comes Yummy Bear. It's Axtell with the lead coming to the final furlong. Battle Station fights on the inside. Pagliacci trying to come on too. And on the outside, it's Yummy Bear. They're coming down to the line, and it's going to be Axtell in a photo finish with Yummy Bear, Pagliacci, and Battle Station in 106.78.
15-1 on Axtell. Paco Lopez having a nice afternoon here.
Well, I mean, let's credit Paco Lopez for putting him in the game, because on paper, this horse does not have the speed to run with the favorite. And he put this horse in the front, and I tell you, he improved dramatically to get the job done here. And Paco with the 2 long shots on this card.
Yeah,
I'm stunned.
This is very close here for second between the horse on the inside and the 2 horses on the outside in the bob. You can't really see with the mirror. Wow, that's very close for second, but no doubt about the winner, 15-1. He made a giant move last time at 40-1, and you're like, okay, is he going to do it again? But the beginning of this race was the key. He flew home. These horses flew home in 11 and change. I don't think Battle Station stopped. Axtell just went by.
Turf's gotten very firm, but these horses ran. I mean, 4 of them hit the wire together. 10-1 on my 7 horse. He ran well enough to win. He just didn't get to the wire.
Paco Lopez, big price in race 5 to kick off the Naira Bets Late Pick 5 with Kit's Cover Girl, and now a big price with Axtell, 106-3. The final time, that is a new record for 6 furlongs on the inner turf.
On the inner turf, of course. I guess there are other records on the outer.
Big numbers again we see. 15-1. Well, the prices, when we come back, we'll set up the 8th right after this.
His record-breaking accomplishments on the racetrack paved his way here to the Stall of Legends. Now retired to stud, we welcome the dawning of a new era as this esteemed champion hopes to stake his claim to immortality. His blazing speed and striking good looks have been passed down to his remarkable first foals. Foals that will carry the flag of their famous father and one day hope to break records of their own. Medication-free and undefeated in sprint competition. Run happy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Back on Belmont Park Live. Race 7 in the books. Axtell, Paco Lopez for Kevin Boniface, owned by Eric Long. Picks up the 4th win of this 5-year-old's career.
I'm not sure why they're showing a photo for win. Axtell obviously won. Photo is among the 7, 8, and 9 for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
By the way, we're showing you the replay of Axtell. We've seen the Maryland horses. Now, we need to learn from this is the feeder tracks that are coming here and running. The Laurel and the Maryland horses, and there's a dead heat between the 7 and the 9 here for second, which is unfortunate because the 7 was by far second best, might have been best. But what we've seen so far, Wolfie, the Laurel horses that are coming over from Laurel are running.
And a big day on Belmont Stakes Day.
Okay. The horses from Parks are not running. So you got to find out the feeder tracks, and these Maryland horses are absolutely running.
Horse Andy coming in from Parks in the next race that has a big shot in your Fiery Opal. We'll see if that holds true.
I think Honor Up can't lose the next race. Lead Pipe Cinch.
Ooh, I like it.
Mortal Lock.
We will get to that race in a moment. Let's go downstairs to Maggie.
Well, of course, the Maryland horses are winning up here in New York. Isn't that right, Kevin?
Absolutely. Have saddle, will travel.
That's the truth. But Axtell, Kevin, he's very close to the track record here.
Yeah, it's, you know, sometimes you run a horse when they're good, and we kind of skipped the condition because we were still eligible for that starter one, but the owner really kind of wanted him to run in this race because we got big aspirations for him down the line, and he was feeling good, so we went for it, and run them when they're good.
Exactly. I heard Paco say that he was feeling even better today than he was last time, and he was coming in here off a second-place effort.
Yeah, he shipped home. You know, we shipped the day of the race and everything. He came up here this morning, and he ate up his breakfast good, and he was in the zone.
Maryland through and through, Bonita Farm. If people aren't familiar with it, it's kind of one of the pinnacle farms in Maryland, and you get to train your horses there every day.
It's a storybook. It's a family. My father gets a little choked up thinking about it, doesn't it? You know, it's a great thing, you know, and we just keep doing it. You know, the Bald Eagle said, get up and do it again, and that's what we do. We haven't had really good horses lately, but we get up every morning, we do the best we can with everything we have, and it showed up today.
And your horses look fantastic as well. Congratulations on a big win here with Axtell.
Thank you very much.
All right, Greg, all smiles here. Got the feels with the home team.
Should be smiling after that performance. Well done. And yeah, these Maryland horses coming to the Big Apple, and they are getting it done and doing it on the big stage. They did all throughout the course of the Belmont Stakes Racing Festival as well.
Congratulations to Kevin. He keeps a lot of horses down at Monmouth Park, but like he said, have saddle, will travel. Congratulations to him, and congratulations if you're still alive in this NYRA Late Pick 5.
We're going to take a break in the action. We will be back. We'll have race 8. We'll set it up for you when we return, and also multiple Grade 1 winner, Oscar Performance. Makes his 4-year-old debut for Brian Lynch on Sunday. We will preview Sunday's Grade 3 Poker when we come back.
Make NYRA Bets your home for online horse racing and betting. Start earning your sign-up bonus right now. With NYRA Bets, you can use our state-of-the-art website to bet on live horse racing at over 200 tracks around the world. Bet anywhere, anytime, using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Build your bankroll with our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up now at NYRABets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus now. NYRA Bets, racing's best play.
His record-breaking accomplishments on the racetrack paved his way here to the Stall of Legends. Now retired to stud, we welcome the dawning of a new era as this esteemed champion hopes to stake his claim to immortality. His blazing speed and striking good looks have been passed down to his remarkable first foals. Foals that will carry the flag of their famous father and one day hope to break records of their own. Medication-free and undefeated in sprint competition. Run happy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Physically, he's matured a lot. He's a lot bigger.
Phoenix has taken the lead. Taking over from Well Able, who's had enough. Lancaster Bummer. Good Samaritan is closing on the far outside, but it's Oscar Performance by 4. Lancaster Bummer. Good Samaritan. Oscar Performance. Bravo! He wins the juvenile turf over Lancaster Bummer. Then it was Good Samaritan.
Well, that was the first of a trio of grade 1s for Oscar Performance. He'd go on to win a couple more as a 3-year-old. Now we await his 4-year-old debut on Sunday.
And it's interesting. Is he really a turf router, or is he better as a turf mile? And Brian Lynch alluded to this with Maggie yesterday. The right races to run him in were the 1.25 miles last year. I mean, $250,000 for the Belmont Derby, $400,000 for the Secretariat. He was running in the right races because of the money and the prestige. But he really might be a miler, and if he is, that's a scary thought.
It is a scary thought. Here's the other thing is I think he can rate and pass horses at a mile, and he's going to have to with Voodoo Song, who's a runoff type of horse. So maybe that's what, Brian's probably thinking. Let's cut him back, and let's try to, make him pass horses.
He matured towards the end of the year. It seemed like early in the year he didn't want to sit behind horses and inside. By the end of the year, he seemed to be able to do it okay. So I agree. As he matures, I'm not saying he's going to win this race, but he could be very good.
Let's hear from Brian Lynch, his thoughts on Oscar Performance now as a 4-year-old.
Physically, he's matured a lot. He's a lot bigger, stronger, very happy with the way he's developed. Physically, very, he's definitely turned into an adult. Probably got a little bit, started a little bit later in the year than what we probably would have anticipated. But, it seems like an ideal place to start him back. Funny sort of race on paper. There's 2 horses in there that have got, really, really quick horses. So hoping he gets a trip where he settles in behind them and lets them ding-dong heads with each other, and he sort of inherits the lead at some stage. I think it's a soldy enough little group to start back. There's always a lot of pressure when you're bringing a high-profile horse like him back, and but I think he goes into it in good order.
Well, we look forward to it. That happens on Sunday. On Saturday, we have a great card. And both these races are going to be part of our show. The Dancing Renee and Holiday Disguise back in action, 6 for 9 in her career. And 6 to 5 on the morning line with Junior Alvarado for Linda Rice.
Seems like her connections have found the replacement for La Verdad.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, La Verdad was some kind of a freak, but Holiday Disguise is, she doesn't look pretty doing it, but she gets it done.
She's a very nice horse, and Linda Rice and Lady Sheila, of course, both campaigned La Verdad, and she's the worst to beat in here, but she's not running speed figures that are so high that it precludes the possibility of somebody beating her. I think it might be a more competitive race than some might think.
She gritted that one out right there. I mean, the filly inside of her did not want her to go by. I wonder if that took a little bit out of her, but she likes to win races. You can't take that away from her.
That's on our show tomorrow, so be sure and join us back at our regular time, 4 Eastern, tomorrow on Belmont Park Live. We're going to take a quick break in the action. We'll be back. The Hot Sire, the last crop of Scat Daddy. A couple more going through the sales ring today. And we'll have the story on that for the OBS June sale when we come back. Stick with us.
Switches back to the outside. Exaggerator down to the 16th pole, but Exaggerator has turned the tables. He has won the Preakness. Phoenix has won the Travers over American Flag. Irish War Cry has won the Wood Memorial. Alice. Good Magic's gonna win his first race, and he's gonna do it in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile.
Make Naira Bets your home for online horse racing and betting. Start earning your sign-up bonus right now. With Naira Bets, you can use our state-of-the-art website to bet on live horse racing at over 200 tracks around the world. Bet anywhere, anytime, using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Build your bankroll with our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up now at NairaBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus now. Get a $200 new member sign-up bonus on NairaBets.com.
Back on Belmont Park Live, Greg Wolf, Paula Duca, Andy Serling, Maggie Wolfendale with you as well. Scat Daddy, oh, the hot sire. He's sire a Triple Crown winner, and everybody goes crazy all of a sudden. It's the last crap of Scat Daddies, and a couple more sold at the OBS sale in Ocala. Of course, the other day, Hip 211 went for $650,000. Hip 742 today sold for $360,000, making 2 of the top 5 at the sale. Sons of Scat Daddy. Not bad.
He's been terrific as a sire, and there aren't going to be too many of them left, so not surprised to see these horses selling for a lot. Surprised, in fact, that a couple of them didn't sell well.
There you see all of them. I mean, the top price ones at least, and the Scat Daddy Colt by far. And then a Cairo Prince filly at 375 checked in, and our good friend Mike Rapoli had an Uncle Mo at 370.
And of course, Justify now carrying on the flag of Scat Daddy when he eventually does go to stud. Let's go downstairs to Maggie Wolfendale.
Thanks, Greg. And while Honor Up here in this allowance for the New York Breds is much the horse to beat, you don't need me to be down here and sing his praises because he looks great. We'll check in with, though, what projects to be his main rivals, including number 2 in here. That is Fiery Opal, who does come off the back of a big blowout win at Parks, going 6 furlongs. Now, all but one of the races at Parks that day was won on the front end. So it's kind of safe to say that that track was very kind to horses with early speed. He will try to go back out to a mile, which physically I'm not opposed to. He's a big, rangier type of animal that I think would be fine going the mile in here. The problem is trusting him. He's gotten good at Parks. I don't know if you can necessarily trust him here in New York. He doesn't look bad. I can't fault him here whatsoever, other than comes back wearing those full bandages and full cut blinkers. But yeah, I don't know if I trust him given his form. Now, the more reliable alternative to Honor Up is number 3, JJ's Dreaming. He does come off a bit of a break, and another horse who posted a fast figure in his last start when finishing second to Horoscope. As I'm sure Andy and Paul will get into, that race, while it was legitimately fast, it was a time where the track had really kind of changed over at Aqueduct into just producing a lot of fast times, and it really just hasn't held up as far as horses coming out of that and reproducing those numbers. But judging JJ's Dreaming here in the paddock, he is a horse that he has gotten a bit better physically in that he's filled out. He's just becoming more of a man rather than a boy here. And I like that. I like that progression with these horses. And he's dappled head to toe. And like I said, for me, he is the main competition for Honor Up. Greg?
Maggie, thanks. That paddock report brought to you by Hillendale Farm, standing Bayern for $25,000. So JJ's Dreaming. 3-1 on the board right now as we take a look at him in action back on April 21st.
Well, the winner of this race, Horoscope's pretty good. This race came up very fast, and you can't argue against the very fast Beyer speed figure that's got. And if you look at other speed figures, the race came up fast. It just doesn't really make sense for the general population of that race. I mean, JJ's Dreaming in general was running speed figures 20 or more points slower consistently. So did he suddenly get better? Well, we'll find out today, because if he runs back to that number, he's going to win this race. He's going to win it race for fun. I don't buy it. And the other thing about him is I think he's a horse that needs to have the lead to win. And Paul, I don't see him outrunning any number of the 1, 2, 4, or even 5 in this race early, and I don't think that's the trip he wants.
Well, the reason why I liked him, I thought his best 2 races were one-turn mile races. So maybe the mile and 8th he didn't love.
I picked him second. I'm not saying he can't win in here. I'm just saying I don't trust him on his last race. And the board is skewed. Honor Up's not going to be 6-5 in all likelihood.
Get sign up started. Play along. Go to NYRABets.com. Use the promo code LIVE. And you get a $200 sign up bonus when you bet $200 in your account. Use again that promo code LIVE. Go to NYRABets.com. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime. Post parade coming up. We're approaching the 4-minute mark to post. And we're going to begin Carthon, trained by Gary Siaka, Manny Franco. Put it all together last time out, but that was on a muddy track in a New York bred maiden special.
He actually ran fine 2 races back. He's just in a tough predicament with other speeds and maybe better horses.
Fiery Opal, we heard Paula Duca talking about the park shippers not doing great here. Here's another one who's put up huge numbers the last 2 starts.
Listen, this horse was in for 12-5 at Parks, and all of a sudden it's took off in the Antonio Arriaga barn. I'm taking a stand against.
Mark Hannick trains JJ's Dreaming. Jose Ortiz aboard.
We'll see. I mean, if his last race holds up, he's the horse to beat. Before that, he's one of the players in the game. We'll see how he does.
11-1 on this one here. This is Discreet Mission for John Kimmel. David Cohen rides.
Yeah, David looking for a double on the card. You know, this gelding's obviously had some issues with a couple-year layoff, but a couple races that would compete here, this gelding. So if he's got him ready, John Kimmel, and he can get him ready at 11-1, not a bad long shot.
Special Story has speed, trained by Oscar Barrera. Angel Arroyo in the irons.
He has speed, but doesn't he have the stamina or the talent?
And Honor Up, 7-5 favorite for the Hall of Fame trainer Belmont Jr. Alvarado in the irons.
Yeah, you know, just facing a little bit better in the last 2, and it's probably going to sit a pretty good trip in here with all the speed and can make up some ground.
Let's look at the maiden win for Honor Up. It came in the last start of his 2-year-old campaign, and talk about putting it all together.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Actually, are we showing the maiden win, or are we showing him finishing second to Audible? I think this is 4 races back, actually. And,
yeah, this was the second.
I mean, Audible, I don't know if you've heard of him. I think he ran 3rd in this race we run, the Kentucky Derby.
All out to beat him, by the way.
He got very, very good, this horse, late in the year. Whatever reason, he was off for 4 months. That race in Keeneland, I thought he was maybe going to be a major factor at the end. And I don't know what happened, but Jose Ortiz eased him. They ran him back relatively soon. Last time out, it was a speedway.
And he would win.
Couldn't pick up horses.
Yeah, and you're right. The Lexington was a weird run race. My boy Jack won the race from way back, and DeSormo, and you're right. He sort of had him up front, Jose, and I think he felt something amiss, and then he just stopped on the horse.
He clearly thought something went wrong. And if anybody that watched the race will see, as usual, it's a horrendous chart call from Kentucky. I don't know if that guy even watches the races, the chart caller, but he was eased.
He was eased, yeah.
3-2 on Honor Up, his maiden score. 11 3/4 lengths win. That was at Aqueduct. We'll see what he does here. 3rd start of his 3-year-old campaign. Let's go to Maggie.
And I'm going to check in with number 4, Discreet Mission. Got the chance to catch up with his trainer, John Kimmel. And he said the time away from the races, which was nearly 2 years, was due to an undisplaced 1-screw condylar fracture. I've seen many horses come back from that and run just as good, or if not actually better, having had that surgery. But, you know, this horse owned by Whisper Hill Farm, and he said that he was there for 2 years. They were just really taking their time with him. And first start back, felt as though he really didn't get much out of it. Second start back, though, John felt as though he really got a lot out of it, and he's actually trained more forwardly since that race. So if he can ever get back to that race that he had before going on that 2-year hiatus, he could be very competitive here. I will say that what John said, I kind of noticed as well, and that he's really on the muscle here today, and he feels as though David Cohen is actually a pretty good fit with this horse due to his aggressive nature that this horse needs to be put in the game. Greg?
Oh, thank you. 12-1 right now in Discreet Mission. Meanwhile, Fiery Opal, back-to-back wins at Parks. He ran monster numbers in those races. What do we do with the 2?
Comes back just 6 days. He ran a Belmont Stakes Day as well. He's got Javier. They got to be going in here. I mean, I don't know. That trainer, Antonio Arriaga, is a dangerous guy. I don't like him, but who knows?
All the wins, Paul, have come at Parks, and you see the only time really ran outside of there at Monmouth, didn't fire.
Didn't fire. And here's the thing. This horse lost at 70 cents in the dollar in the John Service barn and 80 cents in the dollar in the Kathleen Demasi barn. 2 good barns. So what's changed? I don't get it.
What's the reason that somebody doesn't run a New York bred in New York during his whole career? So a shrewd claim, though they didn't really take him right away to New York. Yeah. Why are you running a New York bred out of town when the purses are so much better here? And this horse ran plenty of figures out of town that would have been competitive in New York bred races for much more money, right?
Yeah. Couple-mile races that
weird.
Yeah. But you don't know what to expect. Like I said, the Parks horses have not run. We'll find out.
Second choice on the board right now, Fiery Opal, the 2-horse at 2-1. But it's Honor Up for Belmont, the 8-5 favorite. Gate open for the 6 with Junior Alvarado aboard. Let's send it upstairs for the call. The voice of horse racing's Triple Crown will take it away, Larry Colmus.
Fiery Opal moving into stall 2 here in the starting gate. Currently at 2-to-1 odds. Still the second choice in the betting here is Fiery Opal, who is in the gate now. And here comes JJ's Dreaming at odds of 5-2. The third choice in the betting here will be followed by Discreet Mission, who is coming up to stall 4. And that will leave the last 2 to load Special Story and Honor Up, who's now 3-2 on the tote board. Special Story and Angel Arroyo about to take their position in the starting gate. And Honor Up, who's now at 8-5 under Junior Alvarado, coming up to complete the line. Honor Up stepping forward and in. And they're all in line. They're off. Good beginning for JJ's Dreaming, but now it's going to be Discreet Mission to grab the lead, and Special Story goes with Discreet Mission. Carthon on the inside up into 3rd, and then it's Honor Up in 4th. JJ's Dreaming started quickly, but it's back running in 5th, ahead of the trailer up the backstretch, Fiery Opal. And now Special Story gets away here. The longest shot in the race to set the pace, on top by almost 2 lengths now after a 23.07 quarter. Special Story kicks on by 2.5. Discreet Mission is second, Honor Up is third and progressing on the outside, then Carthon racing inside of JJ's Dreaming. Fiery Opal nudged on to go at the back of the pack, 9 lengths off of front-running long shot Special Story, who heads past the half-mile pole with a diminishing 3/4 length lead. Honor Up is second through a 45.91 solid half-mile. JJ's Dreaming on the charge while 3 wide on the turn. Carthon has come up on the outside of Discreet Mission, and they're 4 lengths behind, and Fiery Opal is still last as they make their way to the top of the stretch. JJ's Dreaming now up and after the lead on the outside. JJ's Dreaming takes charge here and comes wide into the stretch as Honor Up is second toward the inside after 3/4 in 110.23. And in the center of the track, Fiery Opal is getting going now. Fiery Opal, the only one of the shot to come and get JJ's Dreaming. These two arrive at the 16th pole, and Fiery Opal runs on by. Fiery Opal and Javier Castellano pulling away from JJ's Dreaming. And it's a long way back to the others. Third is going to be tight there. It looked like it was Carthon in a photo with Honor Up in 135.66.
Fiery Opal, this is not where we expected him to be in the early stage of the race. He was dead last, showed no speed, and all of a sudden he makes a huge bid from off the pace.
He not only showed no speed, Javier Castellano was asking him for speed, and he just went back farther and farther. Now, in fairness, they were flying up front. My pick, Honor Up, could not have been worse. I mean, he's just awful. And maybe there's a reason Jose eased him 2 starts back. Fiery Opal, I don't know what to say, Paul.
I don't know what to say either. He looked like he was dead last. We all look like geniuses, and then we all look like dummies because he won by like 2. I cannot believe he ran down this field. He just ran down a really bad field. But listen, you got to give credit to Antonio Arriaga. He's turned this horse's life around.
3 in a row. First time he has won outside of Parks, and he does it convincingly. Javier Castellano aboard for the winning ride. Goes off his 2-to-1 Coast second choice on the board. Prices when we come back.
An undefeated graded stakes winner on the track, Algorithms was the nation's #1 sire of 2-year-olds in 2017 by percentage of winners. His top runners include multiple graded stakes performer Rich Mommy, winner of the Grade 3 Sugar Swirl, multiple stakes winner and graded stakes performer Recruiting Ready, and stakes winners He Hate Me and Sunset Ridge. In the ring, his yearlings have commanded prices up to $220,000. Algorithms, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Make NyraBets your home for online horse racing and betting. Start earning your sign-up bonus right now With Naira Bets, you can use our state-of-the-art website to bet on live horse racing at over 200 tracks around the world. Bet anywhere, anytime, using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Build your bankroll with our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up now at NairaBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus now. Get a $200 new member sign-up bonus on NairaBets.com.
Back on Belmont Park Live, Fiery Opal, last early on, comes and gets the win. There was a photo for the show. Winds up going to JJ's Dreamin', edging out Carthon, who actually ran pretty good here. First time in against winners, but Fiery Opal, much the best.
Congratulations to the son of gemologist at the Mineshaft mare in pending stores. Silvino Ramirez, Antonio Arriaga, and Javier Castellano. And I think this horse will pay a little bit bigger in the late pick 5 follow along, and Naira Bets late pick 5.
We'll see. We'll see what they are. Pick 6 obviously not going to get hit. There's even 4 of 5s. First 2 finishers in this race just were an hour better than everybody
They really were.
else.
And this horse, I still can't believe this horse circled the field, considering we thought it could be in front.
Well, there's still one more race to come, and we're going to be off the air here in a few moments, but we'll tell you where to watch that in a moment. You can, of course, do that with the Naira Now app. 6 furlongs, 20 maiden claiming event. Seem the 5 the horse to beat. That's actually the odds for race 8. We'll show you race 9 here in a minute, but the 5 Seem the one to beat. But the 3 Intriguing getting back on the main track after running on turf.
If you're live in the pick 5, the 3, 8,200 for 50 cents. The 5, 4,900. Every other one is over 24,000. Good luck.
All right, well, again, you can watch that race 9 on the Naira Now app to close out the card. We're back tomorrow, 4 Eastern time. We'll have the Dancin' Renee. Part of what we show you was Take Charge Aubrey in the 6, Axtell with a big price in race 7. We will see you tomorrow with more Belmont Park Live. We'll see you at 4 Eastern. Take care.